This is aimed at anybody out there who's still well enough asleep to think that the establishment is looking out for you, that the establishment has got your well-being as a priority interest of theirs, that they're going to take care of you, they're going to take care of your needs, and that they're going to look after you and your children. This couldn't be further from the truth. There's been a lot of talk lately around social media and on the news about Bill Gates and what he's currently up to. And Mr. Bill Gates is now one of the biggest landowners of farmland in the United States of America. He's bought out millions of acres of farmland. So why is Bill Gates the nerd, the computer nerd, Bill Gates, who has never done an ounce of physical work in his life, why is he all of a sudden buying up all this farmland? Because he wants to be a farmer? The man doesn't want to be a farmer. He's buying up all this farmland because he's heavily invested in these companies that are making fake meat. And one of the main ingredients in these fake meats is soy protein, soy beans. And Mr. Bill Gates has seen an opportunity, and by buying up all this land and growing what is needed to go into, and only what is needed to go into these artificial foods, is getting a monopoly on the food supply. That's what Bill Gates is interested in. He's not interested in your health. He's not interested in making sure that you have a long life. He's invested heavily in vaccines because he's making a shitload of money out of vaccines. He even donated $50 million apparently to the Kamala Harris campaign in order for her not to change the medical system in the United States. That's why he donated that money. And now he finds himself with Donald Trump and Robert F. Kennedy sitting in the driver's seat. He's not liking that, I don't think, not one little bit. But these people are out to kill the food supply. And by saying that, what I mean is Bill Gates is talking about blocking out the sun. Sunlight is a prerequisite for life on this planet. Without sunlight, nothing grows. Even human beings don't grow because we're just another veggie anyway. So plants, first and foremost, which are the basis of our food supply, they need, and the food supply of the animals that we consume, they need sunlight in order to photosynthesize. If you block out the sunlight, you deplete the food supply. And then by growing artificial food, by supplying artificial food, you also control everything that is able to be produced and able to be consumed. You can force people, you can steer people down a certain path. This is all you're allowed to eat. This is what you're allowed to do. This is the only path you're allowed to follow, the only path you're allowed to take. They're not interested in our well-being. They're not interested in our well-being. Vaccines? Well, they're telling us that the reason they're pumping us full of chemicals, full of vaccines, is for our own benefit, for our welfare. This is coming from the same people who are telling us that there are too many people on the planet. So, if there's too many people on the planet, why are we so hell-bent, why are they so hell-bent on providing protection for the too many people on the planet? Why not just not vaccinate people and let them die of natural causes or diseases that are going around, which would inevitably cull a hell of a lot of the population? And it wouldn't be blood on their hands, would it? Because Mother Nature took care of it. No, they want to interfere there too. They want to interfere there too because they want to genetically modify the human condition. They want to genetically modify human beings. They want to make sure that we become androids, that we become something that they want us to be. I can guarantee you, probably 98%, that most of these people that were pushing for the vaccines, for us to get these vaccines, because we were going to die of the COVID epidemic, most of them didn't get the vaccines. And the ones that were shown on television getting the vaccines are probably getting saline shots. That's how deceitful these human beings are. I've been doing some research and found out that more people have died from these shots since 2020 than in the Second World War. The estimate is about 15, I think it's 15 million people worldwide, something like that. I don't know how true that is, but I do know that a lot of people have suffered. I know people that have suffered. I know people that were in remission for cancer and they received the shots and now they're dead. I know people who were healthy and they received the shots and now they're no longer healthy. They've got all sorts of issues they're dealing with. Autoimmune disorders, cardiovascular issues, or since they received the COVID injections and the booster shots that followed. So are these people really looking out for your health? Are these people really looking out for your well-being? Or are they out to destroy us? My guess would be that they're out to destroy us. They're out to play God. And while they're playing God, they're making a lot of money and lying in their pockets. But the short-sighted mentality of these individuals forgets one thing. That if you accumulate all the money in the world, if you control the food supply, if you start to manipulate the human race biologically, genetically, start to manipulate the climate and start and go about manipulating the food supply. So you now control the food supply, human beings and animals, as well as the climate. Can you do it as well as nature does? Do you have all the resources in place to do the job that nature does? No. We will never have the resources in place to do the job that nature can do. We will never be able to do that. We will fail, ultimately fail at every turn. Because nature has had billions of years of evolution to perfect her game. We've had a few 100,000 years, and it's only in the last 200 years or so that we've progressed dramatically through technology and industrialization. So compared to nature's billions of years of evolution, we're dumb fucks. Really dumb fucks. Anyway, so these individuals amass all this money, they amass these fortunes, and then the world goes to shit. The climate turns to crap. The food supply is totally depleted. People have died from famine. They've died from genetic manipulation. They've died from medications that are making them sick rather than making them well. The family unit has been destroyed So we are now facing extinction. What are they going to do? What's all that money going to get them when the world is just a barren wasteland? What is it going to get them? But this is the mentality of these individuals because it's all about the now. They don't think about the future. They don't think ahead. They don't think about what their actions today are going to cause tomorrow. They're not thinking that far because they're too busy trying to play God. Well, guess what, people? They call him God for a reason. Be it the God that we believe in as Christians or any other God that existed in the past and the present. And the reason they call them gods is because they are above humanity. They are above the rest of us. They are the universe. They are nature. They are the things that we will never be and the things that we will never be able to control. We will just end up destroying ourselves eventually. That's where we're headed. And everybody is quite happy to go along with it. Our medical professionals have lost the plot. You go into your doctor for a general checkup and he's more interested in asking you whether you're up to date with your COVID shots rather than doing his job, because that's where the money is. He gets kickbacks. She gets kickbacks. Your doctors get kickbacks from the pharmaceutical companies and the government for jabbing you with these poisons. I've worked in some dirty environments, dealt with some dirty shit. I only had one tetanus shot in my life. Two, sorry. I made a mistake. Two. One of them was because my son was too scared to get a tetanus shot, so I got one just to show him that it's not that bad. I don't get flu shots. I'm immunocompromised. I was forced into getting the shot, but I wasn't going to go back and get boosters. By the way, it wasn't long after that my vasculitis flared up again. So I made a point of telling my doctors that the next time a pandemic came around, that the next time they even mentioned that I go out and get a fucking shot, I will be telling them where to go. Because they'd have to tie me down before they could give me anything. You got to wake up to yourselves. You got to wake up to yourselves and you got to ask yourselves, what's more important? What's more important? Giving a damn about where the world is headed? Giving a damn about all the maggots that are trying to eat away at my flesh? Or am I going to concentrate on watching television, swallowing the BS in the news, believing the lies that the politicians are dishing out to me, worried about when I'm going to knock off work so I can go down to the pub, talk bullshit with the other idiots that are half fucked down there, or consume a whole bunch of beers on a weekend and watch the footy on TV or the cricket? Is that what's important? Or is giving a shit about where the world is headed, where the world is going? If not for you, give a damn for your children. Start caring about tomorrow. because your kids are walking into that. And they're walking into it blindly. The education system is making sure that they're dumb. It's dumbing them down. Most of the kids today don't know how to write their own name. Yet they move from one level to the next to the next. They keep moving up the ladder, going into the next class. How can you progress when you don't even know how to write your name? How can you find yourself in third or fourth form in high school if you don't even know how to read a line in a newspaper? But that's where we're headed. That's where we're at. Our kids are dumb because we're dumb. We put them into these educational institutions, which are nothing more than babysitters, and they're indoctrinating them. They're turning them into the robots of tomorrow. Yeah, it makes me angry. It makes me really, really angry that all this is happening right in front of our faces. And we're more concerned about reality TV, sports on TV on the weekend, or drinking and barbecues. That's how you walk into a slaughterhouse with your head held high, and your throat exposed, ready to have it cut without even realizing that that's what you're doing. It's up to you. Only you can wake yourselves up. Only you can open your eyes to the truth. But you've got to be willing to do it. Life is not about holidays, television, barbecues, drinks, and clubbing. Life is a whole lot more interesting than that. A whole lot more interesting. We whinge, we carry on, we bitch, but we don't do anything about it. And on top of all that, we feed the system, we give it what it wants without even realizing it. Wake up. Don't be fools. Don't be fools. It's time to open your eyes.